Oh, yeah. What a mess this is.
But I got one little Catholic joke I want to tell you. Where the kid sees a priest and he's on the bus by him. He looks at him, he said, "Sir, why do you have your collar around backwards?" He said, "I'm a father." He said, "Well, my dad's a father, but he don't wear his collar around backwards." He said, "But I'm a father of many." The little boy said, "But my dad's a father of 4, but he didn't wear his collar around backwards." He said, "But son, I'm a father of hundreds." And the little boy looked at him and thought for a minute. He said, "Well, sir, have you ever thought about putting your pants on backwards?" Now get there, huh? Well, what happened, like you women will know things that we'll never know, and you know it, and you know you ain't gonna tell us. For instance, the guy calls his son up, he said, "Boy, you'll be 18 years old this week. This is the last child support check I'm ever writing your mother, and she'll never gonna get no more money out of my sweet ass, and you tell her that and watch the expression on her face." He comes back, said, "Boy, you give your mother that check?" "Yes, sir." "You tell her what I said?" "Yes, sir." Said, "Did you watch the expression on her face?" "Yes, sir." Said, "What'd she say?" She said, "Well, to tell you that you wasn't my real father, to watch the expression on your face." Oh, hell, that's a killer. Yeah, I knew, you knew that like that one, Jeff. That's like an old lady took her husband to the doctor, and the doctor checked him over. He said, "I'm going to tell you something, sir." He said, "You can't ever have sex again or it'll kill you." So he goes, tells his wife. She said, "Well, honey, that's okay." He said, "Look, I'll stay upstairs. You stay downstairs. We'll just work through it." That happened about 2 weeks later. One night, he's down at the bottom of the stairs looking up, and he looked up and he saw her at the top of the stairs. And she said, "Where are you going?" He said, "Well, I was coming upstairs to die." He said, "Where are you going?" She said, "I was coming down there to kill you." Thanks to my friends from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I don't think I'd ever be a problem in my house.
Shannon told me that, though. Yeah. But you know what happened? The gal took her little dog to the vet, and the dog had some wild hairs growing in its ear. And the vet looked at this little dog and said, "You're going to have to get some nair hair remover. You go to Walgreens and get it." And so she didn't know nothing. She went and took, we went to Walgreens, said she wants some nair hair remover. And the druggist said, "Well, what you going to use it on your legs?" She said, "No." "Why?" He said, "Well, you might irritate your legs if you use suntan or something." She said, "You going to use it under your arms?" He said, "No." "Why?" He said, "Well, don't use deodorant, it might irritate your arms." He said, "What are you going to use it on, honey?" She said, "My schnauzer." He said, "Well, don't ride your bike for 2 weeks, honey." Oh, that comes from the boutique over there. But you know, you get these blondes, and you know the story of men, the blondes, oh God, they're so sexy, and oh, the blonde this, the blonde that, and everything. I don't think them blondes are more fun, really. I think they're just easier to see in the dark. But anyway, they're beautiful brunette women too, now, I'll tell you. There's one in here the other day, she had on a low-cut blouse, sleeveless, and big eyes, beautiful eyes. And she came into the bar, and I stopped at the end of the bar, and the bartender down there, they're not paying any attention to her. But there's all these guys are, man, they ooh and ahhing over her like, oh my God, look at that, you know. When she got tired of waiting on the bartender, she threw up her arm, and the bartender, glob of black hair. Yeah, that's right. Turned off all the fellers just like that. Except one old drunk at the end. And he looks over there and he said, "Bartender, I'll buy that ballerina a drink." Bartender said, "You know that woman?" He said, "No, I don't know her." He said, "Well, did you call her a ballerina?" He said, "Well, hell, man. Anybody that lift her leg that high is bound to be a ballerina." It was a blonde It went through this hailstorm, okay? She got dents all in her car. She went into her garage, the guy said, oh man, look, I'm gonna size, he sized her up, he said, look honey, I'm not gonna work on your car. You go home. When you park your car, you just get back there and blow on the tailpipe and you blow them dings out of your car. Well, she got home, she parked her car, she's back on her knees blowing on that tailpipe, and her blonde neighbor come over and said, what in the world are you doing? She said, I'm blowing these dings out of my car. She said, why, you dummy, you gotta roll the windows up first. Did I tell you the pickup joke? Well, there was a guy having dinner here one night by himself, and there's a gal at the table next to him having dinner by herself, and she sneezes, and when she does, she blows her glass eye out. And this guy jumps up and catches it, and they get in a conversation, and he ends up staying all night with her in her apartment. And he gets up to leave the next morning. He said, honey, I want to ask you one question. Do you treat every man you meet like you treated me last night? She said, no. You just caught my eye. Is that dumb? He said, well, can I come back again? She said, yeah, I'll keep an eye out for you. Now, I don't mean nothing by this joke except as a joke, okay? The Indians catch the Lone Ranger and they're going to kill him. Remember him? I think he did kill him later on, but this time he asked him if he could smoke a cigar last request. And he's smoking this big cigar and he's blowing smoke rings up. And Tonto finally gets a message. And he looks up and here's Tonto on his horse coming over a hill with a nude woman under each arm. And the Lone Ranger sees him and starts yelling at him. No, Tonto, no, no. I said posse. You got to read them circles. I don't believe that either. I don't believe I said that.
Now let's give the cheer, cause the Yankees are here. We gonna make some money now. When you're on the scene, you keep Florida green. We gonna make some money now. And when you're gone and we're all alone, we will yell and holler. We'll get jolly, get on the trolley, spend the Yankee dollar. Oh, let's give a cheer, cause our friends are here. We can start the party now. We can laugh and joke and do the buzzard low and look for a real good year. Oh yes, they had a snow and they had to go. We will yell and holler, got on the run, spent all our funds, now we need the Yankee dollar. Oh, now we need the Yankee dollar. Now this dollar was Pontiac Lake, Pennsylvania. Donna's been, come up here, Donna. Donna's been coming here all year long. She's 83 years old, same as me. And it's their last Sunday until next year. Over here, Pontiac Lake, Pennsylvania. She's a swell gal.